This is the Brandy Johnson, the connector, and welcome to the For the Love of Queens group. Shadow God, let them know what we about.
And the Kings too. Can't forget about you. For the love of the Queens. Step back, then clap, clap. You posted up, we gon' fact check. Matter of fact, scratch.
Hey everyone, the Brandy Johnson, also known as the Connector here, and welcome to Woke Wednesday with the Brandy Johnson, brought to you by the FLQ group on Facebook, which stands for Empowerment, History, and Networking. And I have, of course, my special guest, Tracie Randolph, the Reset Coach. She is a world civility expert with the I Change Nations in the area of whole living. And she is a 3-time, soon-to-be 4-time published author and the mother of 1 handsome son. Sis, how are you doing today?
I am great. I'm great. How are you?
I am absolutely phenomenal. So today, guys, we're going to be talking about keys to reset. My girl, sister queen, beautiful loved one here, she is a reset coach. She is the reset coach. And she has been through some things in life that brought her to this point that important, the whole life balance is what she focuses on. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. So sis, what's the importance of the reset?
Really just to understand that every day is an opportunity for you to make changes. Every day is an opportunity for you to reset. That just because of your circumstances, your challenges, whatever they may be, because we all go through something, that you have an opportunity to reset your life. So that's really what it's all about. And it actually stands for something. The reset actually stands for something, which I wrote in our book that we co-authored together with 13 other amazing authors. But it stands for resilience, existence, strength and strategy, execution, and then do that today. So, and I put the today there because you can always reset your life. You can always make changes. You can always decide that, you've had enough with whatever the status quo, with not taking care of yourself, and make the change and reset.
Wonderful, wonderful. And all that is very important, especially when you finally get sick and tired of being sick and tired and you're ready to take that next step in life.
Absolutely.
You have created 7 keys to whole living.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to touch on every single one of those keys, because when you learn these keys and you apply them to life, there is no way you will not see a positive change.
Mm-hmm.
So let's go over your first key, sis.
Sure.
Key is nutrition and hydration. What's the importance of nutrition and hydration?
Well, that's simple. That's really just making sure that you are getting the foods that will give you the essential vitamins and nutrients. And of course, the hydration is the water for you to sustain your life, your body physically. That's more on a physical level.
Got you. So the whole argument between like keto and vegan and vegetarian, where do you lie? Where do you stand on all of that?
That's a good question. I don't. And let me tell you why. Let me tell you why, because there's no one prescription for everybody, right? So really for me, when I coach clients too, I always tell them, listen to your own body. What works for me may not work for somebody else, and on and on and on. So many people talk about the things that they love to do. If people love keto because they want, maybe a little bit more meat and a little bit less of the carbs and the veggies, then they do the keto, right? And keto is very difficult too. You have to really understand how to use it. But then, some people say they want to be vegan. Well, that doesn't work for the meat lovers, or maybe your body doesn't respond as well. It just really depends. I really like for people to listen to what their body is telling them and then proceed from there. Because you know when something's not right in your body. You know when you eat something and it doesn't quite feel right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I love that. Absolutely love that. So we're moving on to key number 2. Exercise. Now, I love the exercise videos you've been doing every day. I absolutely love them. I need to participate more, though. So what's the importance of exercise in the big scheme of things? Mm-hmm.
So the big scheme to me is blood circulation. Exercise allows you to have your blood flowing in its simplest form. Even just walking gets your blood flowing. If you get up, I did a podcast the other day on intermittent exercising. We're all at home right now. We're not really getting out as much as we used to, but there's things that you can do to exercise. You can get up, you can do a few squats, you can do a few push-ups, you can, do some jumping jacks. All of that is going to get the blood flowing, and that blood circulation is what's really important. So when you think about blood circulation too, it is, allowing your body your heart to pump the blood through your body so that it feeds your organs, right? Your organs are fed off of that blood and those nutrients that you get from the food that we were talking about earlier, those nutrients to flow through your body, to hit those organs, to help you physically. So the exercise is super important. And besides that, it puts you in a good mood. It helps build your immune system. It helps build your mood. It helps you sleep, which, these are other things on whole living, but the exercise helps with all of those.
Wow. And this isn't the first time that I've heard that exercise has a real big impact on leveling your mood and your hormones and things too. Very, very good to know. So we have our third key now, which is sleep. What does overabundance of sleep or lack of sleep, what kind of effect does it actually have on the body and mind?
Yeah, so the lack of sleep, which I'm guilty of, I have to be honest with you. If there's one thing on this list that I don't do the way I'm supposed to, is sleep. But your body restores itself when it's sleeping. And when you think about an organ like your heart and how important it is for the rest of your body. We talked about that blood flow. When we talked about exercise, that's what the heart does. Well, when you don't allow your heart to restore, it's kind of working overtime when you don't get sleep. And I don't know if you've ever had those nights, or maybe even night after night repeatedly, where you're doing something and you're not getting the sleep that you should have. I don't know if you've noticed. I definitely noticed. I feel a difference in my heart. Like I get heart palpitations, or I feel a difference in the rhythm of my heart. When you start to pay attention to your body, that rhythm is different when you get sleep versus when you don't. So that sleep really allows your body to recharge, restore, and recharge.
Excellent. Yeah. Now, in what you just said, it just brought up a question. Do you think that lack of sleep may be a contributing factor to things like heart disease, maybe?
Absolutely. I absolutely do. I think that when you don't give your body that rest, and when you don't allow your heart to recharge, it definitely can hinder the heart. So it's with anything else, like when we don't get sleep, or when something's happening in our body, right? When our immune system is down, it hinders our body from being able to fight the way that it's supposed to. So the heart works the same way. If it's not allowed to restore, then you definitely can be susceptible to heart disease.
Wow, that's definitely something to think about. And one other thing, how important do you think it is to sleep without your electronic devices in the room with you?
Oh boy, that's a big one. So
research and found that blue light from the television and your cell phone actually disrupt your sleep.
It absolutely does. So that disruption, because of that light, you're not getting the sleep that you need to, and you're not going into that REM sleep because you have something that's distracting you from getting that deep sleep that you need, that real restful sleep, that sleep that's going to allow you to recharge, like we talked about. But then the other factor with that is, if you're sleeping with your phone in your bed or your laptop in your bed, because some people fall asleep that way, when you're doing that, you're also emitting more radiation into your body. Cell phones and laptops, they're giving off radiation all the time. So that's just radiation that you're getting while you're trying to sleep and while you're trying to recharge. Now you're disrupting your body with this foreign thing, radiation. You're disrupting your body with that radiation while it's trying to restore itself. So you definitely don't want to do that.
That will probably put your immune system into overdrive then, right?
Absolutely. So that definitely hinders your immune system. Radiation actually causes oxidative stress at the cellular level. So when the body's not getting enough oxygen, then we're really in trouble, right? Because the one thing that we need more than anything else is oxygen, right? We need to breathe. So yeah, you definitely need to be careful.
That's some really great information, and a lot of people don't really talk about something as simple as sleep, how very, very impactful it is on many areas of not only your physical being, but your mental health as well. Mm-hmm. So let's move on to your fourth key, which is stress management. What is the importance of implementing stress management in one's life?
Yeah, so this really is just being able to deal with life as it comes. Like we right now are in a really stressful situation. And if you let it get the best of you, right? And if you don't look for the opportunities within this stressful situation, or if you don't look for the things that really help you to relieve stress, right? You can put your body into just a stressful state that doesn't allow you to get the rest that you need, allow your body to recharge and restore, allow your brain even, right? Some rest. And it's not just about the physical, it's also about the mental and the emotional. If you don't allow yourself to relieve that stress somehow, you're going to put your body, your physical body and your mental and emotional state in just a stressful position, really. And then it doesn't allow you, it doesn't allow you to think properly. It doesn't allow you to be productive. And then it can cause illness. When you talk about the physical side of it, it can cause a lot of illness. Stress causes a lot of illness. Now, some stress is good though, right? We get excited about things. If we have goals and we're trying to hit those goals and it might be a little bit stressful, but it propels us forward, then that type of stress is good. So some stress is good, but you don't want to overload or put yourself in a mental state where you're like, okay, I can't function. That type of stress doesn't work.
So for those that work stressful jobs or just have a high level responsibility, what are some ways that they can manage their stress even when things seem hectic around them? What are some possible exercises that they can do to get a hold of their stress levels and bring them to not exactly neutral zone, but just a place that they can function from a calmer point of view?
The first thing is breathe. Breathe. If you could just stop and take a few deep breaths. I remember years ago just being in corporate America. And years ago, somebody said to me, just stop and breathe. And it was so effective. And then I started doing it as I was sitting at my desk and dealing with the stress of work and saying, okay, let me just take a breath. And if you do that, like when you stop to do that, immediately the stress goes down. Your stress levels go down. Like if you just and breathe it out deep, stress goes down. So the first thing is just breathe. Just breathe, stay calm, and just breathe. That's the biggest one. But then I tell people when I'm coaching people, I tell them to anchor themselves to something that brings them some joy. Something that they love doing, something that is going to help take their mind off of the current stress. Step away and do something that gives you some joy, some pure joy. If it's, your kids listening to music, whatever it is, playing some games, whatever that is, outside taking a walk, basking in the sunshine, whatever that may be for that person, because everybody is different. But take a moment and just do something that brings you some pure joy.
Absolute beautiful information there. Now we have step number 5 or key number 5, which is mindfulness. And I absolutely love the power of the right mindset. How do mindset and mindfulness help contribute to your whole lifestyle?
So we all know, and as you read and as you listen to the motivators, some of the top motivators out there, they talk about changing mindset, right? It's hard to do anything progressively or positively without having a positive mindset, without understanding and believing in yourself to be able to do that. And the reason why I couple mindset with mindfulness is because mindfulness is a practice. Mindfulness is the practice of changing your mindset. So doing those things, like we talked about breathing is a practice. And that's where the mindfulness comes in. And then that in turn helps you to change the mindset. Because we talked about that stress. If you breathe and you practice breathing, you reduce the stress and then you change your mindset around whatever was stressing you. So I like to combine them because mindfulness is definitely a practice. It's being intentional about changing your mindset around whatever it is that you're going through, whether it's a challenge or it's a goal, because sometimes it's a goal that you need to change your mindset around just to get through the goal.
Now, my coaches, Dr. Jerry Bobo and Winter Bobo, have time and time again. In order to get a hold of your mindset, you need to first look at your circle. Where do you stand on that? How important is it to surround yourself with the right people when you decide that like you no longer want what you currently see in your life?
That's super important, right? Because listen, when people are negative, just to use that as an example, that infiltrates, right? It infiltrates your headspace, it infiltrates your heart. It's really important to be around people who are lifting you up or feeding you positivity or just have positive attitudes around things, who are supportive. It's really important to do that, because once you allow the negativity to infiltrate, it definitely plays tricks on you. We're all human. So it definitely plays tricks on you. So if you can surround yourself with like-minded people who are positive, who are forward thinking, it's definitely going to play better on your mindset than, people that are not that way.
All right. And while we're on the topic, what are some signs when somebody's tired of getting the same thing over and over and over again? What are some signs that one person is truly ready to seek something different?
That's a good question. I think those signs are really when they start to seek it, right? When they start asking questions, because that's really where it starts. People, when people get tired of things, when they're asking questions, and when their questions change, right? When their questions change. And I don't know about you, but I know you have coaches, right? And we've sought out coaches before, right? Some coaches are not as good as others, but I've definitely had coaches and mentors in my life. And when you start to ask different questions and you start to seek, people that know more than you, then you understand that your mindset starts to change. That's where people start to change, when those questions arise and when they're ready to take action on the questions that they're asking too.
Awesome. So when you decided to start making that move, to start getting out of corporate America, right? What were some of the influences and the connections that you made in order to help guide you and push you along this journey?
So I'll give you my first one, because I absolutely love my very first coach and mentor. Her name is Dr. Deidre Anderson, and she's the founder of an organization called Women Empowered International, and she has a program called Transform Her. And I joined that program, and in that program, you do life planning. And I won't give it away for people that may want to join the program or take her program, but you start to do life planning, and you kind of take a look back, and then you take a look ahead. And it completely changed my mindset around corporate America, because I was groomed. You and I have talked about this before, right? I was groomed to go to school, be an independent woman, go to school and work. Even though being an entrepreneur was in my heart, it was deep down in my soul. It was something that me and my best friend talked about for years when we were younger. But we both were groomed to go to school and then go to work. So then, we kind of left those entrepreneurial dreams to the side at that time. And when I joined this program, I had to really take a look back and see, wow, these are the things that I had dreamed about before. And this is what I wanted for my life before. And then start to plan for the future. And once I did that, everything started to change. And don't get me wrong, I always talk to Dr. Deirdre about this because it didn't click for me right away. And then one day her and I were having a conversation, and she saw like the changes in me, and she said, what made it click? I said, it was just me. Like, I just had to be completely ready for it. I was ready. I started asking the questions like we talked about. And I, took the program. So I took the steps, I took the action steps, but I didn't really, the goals that I had planned out, I hadn't really started yet until just one day I was like, boom, like, all right, it's here. I see it. It's in front of me. And she had always said, keep looking at your plan, keep looking at your plan and refine and readjust and keep moving. So I was like, okay, I got to do this. But one day it was just like, okay, I'm taking action. And then you just go full speed ahead. So, you just seek those people that have those programs or just, are good at heart and ready to serve other people. And that program was definitely that for me.
And that's excellent. And something I want to remind anybody that gets a chance to watch this of, if you have a few false starts before you're actually ready, that is perfectly fine.
Absolutely.
You know when you are just so fed up with everything that you are going to basically stick to it come hell or high water. There's going to be some false starts. I've had a few false starts myself. You see it happening from time to time in just these videos that we do here. Like if you go back and look at some of the things that I've done over the last 2 years, you see like a noticeable change. So it's okay to have a few false starts. Don't beat yourself up. Don't dwell on it. Everybody hits that point in which they're truly ready to seek that new level in life. So,
right. And that's what the reset is all about. Like, it's always okay to just reset and readjust and keep going. The point is, don't give up on it, right? And the false starts is where the growth happens, because you see the mistakes, you see all the mistakes, so that you don't have to make them continuously going forward. So that's part of growth.
absolutely. And that actually brings us into our next key, which is energy placement.
Oh yeah, I love this one. So we were just talking about that whole mindset shift and being positive, but it's like, what energy are you bringing to change the mindset? And I always use Tony Robbins as an example. And the reason why I do is because I love the way he starts off when he goes into some of his lives, and he's got thousands of people out there. And I don't know the man, right? But I'm sure every day is not a good day, right? And I'm sure he has to reframe himself sometimes when he is about to go out on stage. But he comes out and he's loud, and not just loud just to be loud. He's loud with all of this energy, and he starts getting people pumped up, and he's clapping, and he's telling people to stand on their feet. And the energy in the room automatically changes. So when I talk about energy placement, and the reason why I have this in here is because we can do that for ourselves. We don't need Tony Robbins, and I love Tony Robbins. I think he's great, but we don't need Tony Robbins to do that for us, right? Because that's something that you can practice for yourself. So there goes that mindfulness. It's a practice. To change your energy is a practice, but I love the whole energy placement, because if you decide to change your energy, then everything that you decide that you want to do can get done once you flip the switch. I just told you I flipped the switch. One day it just clicked, and I changed my energy. And once I changed my energy, it was like, okay, now I can do this. So it's not, you can plan it out, you can strategize, but if your mindset and your energy is not in the right place, it's going to be hard to move forward. But we can do those things for ourselves. So I just like to use him as an example because of the way he comes out. But anybody can do that. You can do that on your own. Find what it is that, like we talked about, the joy, or that kind of changes you, kind of changes your mood. Find whatever that is and change it. Change the energy for yourself.
Excellent advice. I myself, at one point in time, I was surrounded by like a lot of negative people. And even though I was working on my mindset and becoming more positive, becoming more focused, becoming more positive oriented, and changing my perception of things, and focusing on gratitude and things like that. It's very important that if you can't get away from negative people, to reinforce in your mind using books, using speakers on YouTube, listening into different lives and things on Facebook, plugging in with a good coach or mentor, because you're going to need those things in order to build up your energy, so that when you emit positive energy, the more positive energy you're able to resonate, come off of you, the faster you'll attract the people that you actually need to be around to start to seek your higher self.
Absolutely.
Very, very rough start, but I would honestly go through it all over again 10 times over to get to where I'm at now, where I see myself going. I have the most amazing network I could ever want. Between you and Antoinette Marie, Carrie Crosby, my coaches, Doc and Winter Bobo, my business partner, Jack Roach, if I wouldn't have stuck with it, I probably would have lost my mind by now. It's very important when you can not perfect it, but when you can get a hold of your energy and your thoughts. Your thoughts are very, very important. A lot of us, especially those of us that come from Black families that taught us, go to school, get a good job, save your money. It took a lot for us to break out of that cycle, because it's the last decade here that cycle especially has become impossible to thrive off of. In the economy, how everything's set up.
Yeah, look at what's happening today, right? Entrepreneurs who have learned how to shift in this current market, in this current culture, in this current time, right, are going to come out on top because the employment world, I won't say corporate, employment all around, right, is changing. It is vastly changing. And I don't know if it's not going to go back to, I don't think, going to go back to what it was before, after what's happening now. So being able to make that shift and change the mindset, and not, it doesn't necessarily, I'm not saying that everybody has to be an entrepreneur. What's for you is for you, but understanding that you have to shift your mindset when times change, when things change, when challenges arise. You have to shift your mindset and shift your energy to be able to adapt.
Absolutely. And what just came to mind to those of you that are wondering what's next, what's the next move to make? I'm just going to tell you, perfect the pivot. A little to the left, shift a little to the right. You will fall into that rut that you're supposed to be in, the good rut, not the bad rut.
Exactly.
That's meant just for you. Follow that. When it splits off, fill them out. Which one makes the most sense right now? Because I found myself, even right now, I have so many things going on that I'm like, which one do I focus on?
I know.
Right now, I'm to the point like, I absolutely love coming on here every week. I'm still going to continue to do so. But I also find myself knowing that I need to take a 45 to 60 day period to finish my book because it's important. I'm focused on bringing my sister queens home. The kids need us home. Our families need us home. I put everything that goes sideways right now within society as a whole, but especially within the Black community, is our mothers aren't home. And oftentimes the mothers are also the father. They need that extra attention. They need that role model. So even if you can't find that male, if you have a male child that needs a good, positive male influence, you got more time to find that for him. You got more time to find that for her, because even our little queens need a positive male role model as well.
That's right.
So it's absolutely phenomenal just knowing these things, understanding how energy works, understanding the importance of certain things over others, and just being able to prioritize and stick to those priorities, because we all are going to have people saying that doesn't make sense, that's not the smart thing to do, I wouldn't do that. Well, you need to ask yourself one big question. This person speaking at me right now, are they living the way I want to live? If not, say, okay, thank you.
Time to pivot.
So key number 7, laughter and fun. So what role did this play in your life, especially since you are a conqueror of cancer? What role did laughter and fun play in your recovery?
I'm silly, so so having fun. I mean, laughter really, like if you see me, I'm smiling all the time, right? I'm smiling through the pain, I'm smiling through the challenges, and I'm smiling when it's just time to be happy and joyful. But it's so key. It just goes with everything else too, changing the mindset, changing the energy, helping the physical body. Like it just goes with all of that, just that laughter and the things that I always talk about, the things that give you pure joy, not just happiness, because happiness is a temporary feeling. But joy, things that really bring you joy, are things that you can gravitate to over and over again. So when I think about joy, like my son, he brings me joy. Like his smile, his face, he's another happy little smiley kid, just like me. But I like being silly, Brandy. I like just, having fun and enjoying people and just enjoying life. That's, we're here for a reason. Why not be able to enjoy some good, clean fun, laugh it up and enjoy people. So I just think it's key.
It is. And I love the 7 points, because we got a lot of people that focus on one thing over the many. And I love how you've pulled together everything from eating to sleeping to making sure you work your body out, managing your stress, your mind, your energy, and making sure you get laughter and fun in there. Like that is an excellent balance. And instead of worrying about just one thing, why not fit all 7 things into your day? You got 7 days of the week, don't you?
Mm-hmm. And you are a whole person, so why not bring in everything? They all intricately work together too. It's all really connected when you think about it, because one thing plays on the other. Really,
Absolutely.
yeah. So it all works together.
They're all interconnected. I absolutely love that. So before we jump off of here, sis, what are some things you'd like to leave everybody with today?
Well, I think one key thing that we talked about early on when we started is paying attention to your body. If we have to talk about the physical, pay attention to your body. When you want to implement some self-care, really pay attention to what your body is telling you. For me, that happened with the cancer, me paying attention. So really do that. But then the other thing is just try to find some joy in life. Let's go back to number 7. Number 7, to help with all the other parts of this whole living. But really just pay attention to your body. Pay attention to what you want. Pay attention to what you need, and pay attention to what your body is telling you.
Absolutely. And sis, it's been absolutely phenomenal. You already know I love you to absolute pieces. So
I love you too.
or enjoyed you as much as I have this wonderful evening. This could be morning or afternoon. How do people connect with you, sis? How do people connect with you?
Sure. I am on Instagram as the_reset_coach. I am on Facebook as the Reset Coach and as Tracie Randolph. I'm on LinkedIn also as the Reset Coach. And I do also have a Reset YouTube channel as well. And a podcast called Reset.
All right. So I'm leaving with IG, and then later on in the comments, once this drops, I will go ahead and drop your other links as well, so to get hold of you on any platform that they choose.
All right.
So, guys, anybody that comes on Woke Wednesday, you are more than welcome to jump on their pages, follow them for a while, see who they really are. And if you like what you see, feel free to reach out and connect, because every single one of us are here to help as many people as possible, no matter what it is that you need help with.
Absolutely.
We love you guys. Tracie, thank you so much for sharing some time with me today and pouring into our wonderful viewers that are going to get a chance to see you very, very soon.
You are welcome.
And thank you for joining us. God bless, and catch y'all again soon.
I love it. Thank you, Brandy.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.